Good evening. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for sponsoring this event. My name is Stefan Armington, and I'm running for the 3rd Ward. I would like to use my 2 minutes to share what I've done as councilman over the last 8 years. I've represented the residents of the 3rd Ward for those 8 years. I've responded to every person over the last 8 years that has asked me for assistance, listening to their concerns, and working with the administration to find solutions to their problems. In Cutler Park, I have applied for and won a $120,000 grant to implement traffic calming measures in the neighborhood. 2 years ago, I partnered with the Environmental Commission and the LA Street neighbors to build a community garden at the LA Street playground. It's been a huge success. I have focused on pedestrian safety and reducing cut-through traffic, getting traffic studies done on Grant Street, Clinton Street, Mill Street, Colonial Road, and Lake Road. I've gotten the town to install speed measuring signs on many of the streets and implemented traffic calming measures where appropriate on other streets. Where none of that is possible, I've gotten the police department to spend more time enforcing traffic laws. I've worked for 5 years with neighbors around the high school to address the impacts of student parking. I created the town's bicycle plan, the complete streets policy, and the bicycle and pedestrian elements of the master plan. I am responsible for the town's bicycle sharrows on the streets and bike racks on the sidewalks, and I'm working on a bike share program. My wife and I have adopted the cleanup of the Patriots Path. We manage the garden at Cutler Park neighborhood sign, the gardens at Speedway Avenue gas station, the Rose Garden and Circular Garden at the Early Street Senior Center, and the flowering bushes at the Speedway Avenue Speedway Playground. I even call in every dead deer that gets hit on Speedway Avenue before it rots on the sidewalk. I applied for and won a $670,000 grant at the Morris Park with the Morris Park Commission to extend the Patriots Path from Corey Road to MLK Avenue. I have participated in almost every Morristown cleanup, and every 6 months I survey the ward's street lamps and report to J.C. Pinnell. This is just a small part of what I do as a council.
Thank you. Please no applause.
Like Stefan, again, thank you, League of Women Voters, for sponsoring this evening's event. I must say, it's a lot easier the second time around. Okay, so, but I also want to thank everybody. The last 4 years have actually been very, very enjoyable. People think we're crazy because of the amount of time that the council representation requires. I think you heard a lot from Stefan. You hear the day-to-day routine that we go through, answering the citizens' complaints, working with the administration on the development of legislation that actually guides this town. But I will say that I think the biggest pleasure I get from representation has been my engagement with the community. I am so proud of the First Ward, and my proudest point with the First Ward is I think we together have formulated a common voice of all the constituents of the First Ward. My proudest moments are when we have meetings like we had with reference to fighting the storage facility on Morris Avenue, the calming project on Washington Avenue, trying to get some semblance of cooperation between the bars and the residents downtown. With the development of the M3 station, what pleasures me more than anything is the public opinion that has been sought out, not only has been sought out, but came out supporting me, supporting our voice on the council. So when I say that, I enjoy being on council, I enjoy representing the First Ward. It's an honor, and I hope to continue to serve the First Ward as an independent, strong, fair voice for the First Ward. Thank you.
Thank you. Alison?
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I know we're competing with a 7-game World Series, so we didn't expect that, but I hear it's going to be starting at 8 o'clock, so we'll have to finish in an hour. I am incredibly honored to represent the 4th Ward, the hottest ward in Morristown. So I really don't have any prepared opening statements tonight, but I can tell you that I'm incredibly honored and humbled each time that I've been elected to serve. And really, I went to school many years ago. I studied public administration, and so for me to be sitting up here and to be commenting on and drafting legislation and to be participating in environmental commission policy statements, to be working with one of my council colleagues here, Stefan Armington, on a grant with Millennium Strategies, our town's grant writer, to apply for open space for Foots Pond Wood. It's like I'm a kid in a candy store. I tell everybody that that's how I feel when I come up here to work. I'm human, I make mistakes, I kind of get sometimes overwhelmed by the world we live in sometimes, but I definitely enjoy what I do, otherwise I wouldn't be here. And as I said, I'm incredibly honored and humbled to be sitting up here. And as far as just one thing I can say to all the other people sitting up here that haven't run for office, I know how hard this is, and I know that you put yourself out there, and I just want to commend you for stepping up and taking a chance and putting yourself out there, because it's not easy to run for office, and I just applaud you all for doing so.